Hi, welcome to the channel or welcome back. My name is Amber Campbell. I am an author and a freelance editor. I have 3 poetry collections out with the 4th slated for release this spring. And I have been freelance editing since 2022, and this is the first episode of my brand new monthly editing income series. So we are going to go ahead and dive into it. This is for any other freelance editors who are just getting started, or for those who might be interested in what my income actually is, if it's livable, sustainable, all that good stuff. And then I am also hoping that other authors see this and maybe get ideas for services that they didn't realize were out there for them to book for their own stories. So, quick breakdown, I offer 4 different services. They are beta reading, copy editing, query letter assistance, and manuscript evaluations. I only work with young adult and middle grade manuscripts, and I will read any genre except horror and most science fiction, mainly because I'm burnt out on it. So, and the client would have to come forward and let me know what kind of science fiction they have to see if I'd actually be interested in that. So, for the month of January, I completed 6 beta reads, 2 query letters, and 1 copy edit. The copy edit was for a middle grade manuscript, and the 2 query letters, one was actually writing the synopsis for a former client who I had already beta read for last year, and then one was actually writing up the query letter. I know that's kind of a hot button topic, but for me, I will usually take somebody's summary that they've written and will write up the query letter for them. But I get all the information from them. So my query letter assistance questionnaire is very in-depth. I get all the information I can pull from them, and then I use that in slightly different words, because for a lot of authors, it's so hard to write the synopsis, it's so hard to write the blurb. That is harder for us than just writing the actual manuscript. So that's what I offer as a way to help. But at the end of the day, their manuscript still has to stand on its own legs. So my query letter might help you get a partial or a full request, but your manuscript still has to be strong enough to keep their attention so that they actually represent you. As I mentioned, I have been offering my freelance editing services since 2022, so I will actually go through, I didn't start until October of that year, so I'm going to tell you my monthly income for this month, as well as my previous January's, just to try to see how it's grown since then. So this month, I made $908 from freelance editing. Compared to January of 2024, I made $266, and in January of 2023, I made $66. So we are moving up. That is what matters. So January, February has consistently gone up every year. Spring and summer flips for me. It just depends on what's going on. And so for me, also I do work on Fiverr. It is a freelancing platform, and so what that means is that those 9 jobs I completed in January, I don't necessarily get paid on any of them. For instance, the copy edit is going to be done either today or tomorrow, but I've spent the last 8 days of January working on it. So even though I worked on these projects in January, I only got paid for probably about 6 of them, versus December's projects, where about 1 week's worth of December, I'm getting paid in January. So it's kind of a little bit of flip-flop. So February, March is going to be really big because I have another copy edit job in February already scheduled and a line edit job. So February is going to be good for the copy edit job because that'll be cleared in February, but the line edit job will not clear until March. So something to consider there. But it has gone up, and for most people, no, this may not be a livable income in terms of being a full-time job, but I do get all of this done while I am at my full-time job, which is nice, and my dogs are going crazy in the background. But I think that this is a really good growth for somebody who did not put any additional money into it. I have my bachelor's in creative writing. I have spent 2 years as a writing instructor, a year and a half, almost 2 years actually, as a reader intern for a literary agency, and I've spent a year as an editorial intern for a journalism program. That's what we're gonna say. It is a medical journal that's no longer around, but I was an editorial intern for them. So I have spent time and money into this profession, but not necessarily to go into freelance editing. So for me, anything I make is profit, and I'm very proud of that. And also, I am on Fiverr. They take 20%. So if I had not been on the platform, although I would not have found any of these individuals without Fiverr, then basically take that $908, add 20% to it. That's how much I would have made, which would have been closer, I believe, to probably about $1,100. And my goal for this year was to make 4 figures each month from my freelance editing. So let me know in the comments down below what you think a freelance editor would be making. My bread and butter is beta reading, query letter assistance. I offer reviews, actual writing it, synopsis help, things like that. And then copy edits and manuscript evaluations, as I said. So manuscript evaluations, I get like 1 or 2 a year. So most people would rather just get the beta read. It's a lot more encompassing for the price compared to my manuscript evaluation price, because those are 2 different services. So, again, let me know what you were thinking below. If you are an editor, let me know what services you offer, because I'm really interested in finding other editors here on YouTube and just kind of seeing what we're all doing, especially what we're working on, because I write poetry, but I edit for young adult middle grade. I'm interested to see if anybody else is just kind of polar opposites like that. So, but this is the first in the series. I will be doing this on the last day of every month, so I'm very excited to see how all this is. I know I was also supposed to include some book sales numbers, but full transparency, I can't talk. I did not sell a book as of filming this, so I'm hoping that will change. We still have some time. But yeah, so just haven't sold a book, but we've made $900 in editing. I am very, very happy with that. So thank you guys so much for watching. All my links are down below if you'd like to book a service, buy a book, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next month. Bye.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room.